I just came from watching The Crow remake that just released. This is going to be a non-spoiler review, giving my thoughts and opinions on The Crow. I've never watched the original, but wow. Yeah. Oh boy, the movie stars Bill Skarsgård as Eric, or The Crow, number one. The man's acting is very bland in this movie, very bland. It's like he was told, okay, your character has no personality. He will just be Mr. Sexy Boy with tattoos and a stoic emo face. That's it. And a six-pack. That's the range of his personality. And then his backstory, if you're going to call it that, is he's traumatized because some animal he loves died. And he got cut by some fence. I've never watched the original, but damn, the movie, this remake has a lack of 3D characters. Every time I was watching, I was constantly being like, oh no, not that character who had like 5 minutes of screen time. Oh no, not her, who I can't remember her name. There is a love story, if you can even call it that. The two characters that are supposed to be in love, I'd rather even watch Twilight, to be honest with you. I'd rather even watch Twilight than watch these two. The whole movie feels like it's going through the motions, simply because it's a remake of a better film, probably a much better film, which I've never watched. But I can tell the way they're making this film is that it's like in the heads of the people who made this film, they're like, well, you watched the other one, so just care about that one the way you care about this one. I also want to ask myself, I don't know if this is in the original, but here it says that I had actually watched the trailer for this film before I watched the movie. And in this movie, when Eric becomes the Crow, it's his love for the girl that is like fueling his powers. And the guy who explains the whole thing to him tells him that sometimes when people die and the death is so violent, they come back to like rewrite the wrongs or something like that. And I'm asking myself, are you telling me that in this entire city there's only one guy who has died so violently the way Eric died? Anyway, the movie has no subtext whatsoever. It keeps preaching its themes to you. It wants to talk about themes of being broken, being love, but it preaches it to you. It doesn't know how to put it on screen so that you read in between the lines yourself. There's this one scene where this dude is in a car and he had attempted to kill Eric, but when he sees Eric is alive, he's like, didn't I kill you before? But he has like no expression on his face. The actors seem like they're just sleepwalking throughout the entire film. The evil guy is one of the most one-note characters. He kind of reminds me of like the Madame Web bad guy. In the Madame Web bad guy, we used to call him, reviewers, we used to call the Madame Web evil guy Mr. Evil, because he had no personality beyond being evil. So the same thing with the bad guy of The Crow. He's just Mr. Evil. He has no personality other than what the plot requires him to do. And he's also the guy from, he's also the evil guy from Wonder Woman. That actor is the evil guy in Wonder Woman. But there he has way more personality. The script here is the trash. It's not the actors that are the issue. It's the script. 1 hour in, I had a notoriously bad headache. It's like 12 minutes into the movie, I didn't care. I felt like they should have done character setup, but I didn't care. 30 minutes in, I still didn't care. 1 hour in, I had a very bad headache because I could not care. The movie could not get me to care. And that's the issue with this film. You can't care. It won't care. It won't make you care because it's going through the motions, because it's assuming that you watched a previously better film. I can't believe that I called this movie Gothic John Wick. I did a trailer reaction. I can't believe I called it Gothic John Wick. John Wick does everything much better. John Wick is kind of the same story, right? Revenge for love, right? But John Wick does everything so much better. The action is better. Keanu's acting is better. Does 3D characters better. John Wick does, showing that you're grieving the loss of a loved one much better. This one, it's just going through the motions. It's very plastic, very forgettable film. Probably 2 days from now, I won't even remember what I just watched. There's this one scene where the generic bad guys go to the opera. And I was like, which movie is that where I've seen bad guys going to the opera? I remembered it's Madame Web. Yeah, in Madame Web, the bad guy also goes to operas. And the only good thing I would say about this film is that The third act has some good gore, some okay gore, that made the movie watchable in the end, but I still didn't care. It actually reminded me of this Family Guy joke. You watch this scene in Family Guy where Peter Griffin is killing some people while classical music is playing in the background, and then he says, opera music makes violence classy.
Opera music makes violence classy.
So it reminded me of that trope. Once again, I never watched the original, so for anyone who might say, oh, people are just hating this movie because they want it to be like the original, I didn't watch it and I still didn't think it was good. I gave it a fair shot. I kept an open mind throughout the entire thing, just to see if the movie would make me care. But that's the biggest crime of this film, is that it's bland and doesn't make you care. Out of 10, I give it a 3. I would sit through this than Madame Web, which I gave a 0. Because I googled this movie and I saw that it is a superhero film. Very loosely way of defining superhero film, but I would give this a 3 out of 10. If you've watched it, give me your thoughts. Did you enjoy it? Have you seen it? I can't believe I actually called this gothic John Wick. That's an insult to John Wick. This movie would never even reach even be half as good, even 10% as good as what John Wick did. If you've enjoyed my review, make sure to smash like and subscribe, and then I'll see you in the next one.